Suffolk's shores are simply stunning. And it's breathtaking scenery like this that fuels people's desires to live in a spectacular home by the sea.
We are lucky enough to be surrounded by a diverse and dazzling coastline. So it's no surprise that the British seaside has such a strong attraction.
I'm Charlie Luxton, and over the past 2 summers, I've experienced some of Britain's best coastal homes.
But I'm determined to find even more wonderful properties along our shimmering shoreline.
In this series, I'll open the door of exquisite homes.
Now that is my kind of building.
That combine fabulous interior design.
What a space.
With breathtaking views.
That is amazing.
And cross paths with people lucky enough to call our epic coast home.
Wow. Wow. Look at this. That is absolutely stunning.
This week I'm in East Anglia, exploring the beautiful county of Suffolk. Here, fishermen's huts raise expectations. Seaside mansions exude Victorian splendour.
Now that is what I call a library.
And tiny homes deliver supersized scenery.
It might be a little house, but that is a big view, isn't it?
Suffolk is fondly known as Constable Country, famed for its watercolour landscapes and perfect pastoral homes.
But this can be a wild place too. The storms that blow in off the North Sea and the potential for tidal flooding means there is a constant battle between land and sea.
The Suffolk shoreline hugs the hip of Britain, stretching from the county's border with Norfolk down to Felixstowe in the south. It makes up just 50 miles of our coastline, but there's plenty to explore. I'm starting my Suffolk sojourn in what is Britain's most easterly town, Lowestoft. Bringing me ashore is a wonderfully restored traditional fishing smack built in the 1920s. At the town's peak, over 300 ships like this sailed out of the harbour.
Norfolk Quay! Norfolk Quay!
Of course, Suffolk has a rich history and lots of fantastic traditional architecture, but it's a forward-looking place too, and I'm interested to see how these two competing strands of past and present play out in its seaside homes.
The harbour at Lowestoft is the most northerly point of my journey and the perfect port for large vessels like the Excelsior. But to get to the heart of this county and its coastal architecture, I'm heading 26 miles south to the curious village of Thorpe Ness. With its beautiful Swan Lake and colourful rowing boats, this place has a fairy tale charm about it. But the artificial crocodile basking on the bank suggests there's more to this village than meets the eye.
In the 19th century, it was a sleepy little fishing hamlet with a bit of a reputation for smuggling. But then, at the start of the 20th century, it was bought by that most unusual thing, a visionary lawyer called Glencairn Stewart Ogilvie. And he transformed it into a private fantasy holiday village centred around this artificial lake called the Mere. Now, everything for him had to be beautiful. And that resulted in one of the most unusual houses you're ever likely to see.
On first impressions, the house on the horizon looks like a pretty ordinary, albeit brightly coloured little place. But further down the Gorse Line track, it becomes apparent that this house on a hill is an illusion. This spellbinding home isn't hidden behind the trees, it's towering above them. Standing 70 feet high, this is the house in the clouds. And the person who's been lucky enough to own this unique tower for 40 years is Sylvia Lecomber.
I mean, it is a very extraordinary piece of architecture, isn't it, this house?
It's a, what do you call it, architecture? I don't know, it's a vision.
What is this building?
It's the water tower. And underneath is a very ugly Braithwaite structure.
So a very
And they
simple
still
sort
do
of
in
crude
Wales.
metal frame all the way up
All the way up.
to hold
And
the
then-
water tank.
Yeah, and there was 50,000 gallons of water up there when I moved in.
To gain enough pressure to supply the whole village, the water tank needed to be up high. And that meant building a 70-foot tower rather like this. But for philanthropist Ogilvy, this was a blot on an otherwise beautiful landscape.
Why was there a house underneath it?
Well, because the Ogilvy family didn't want this ugly steel structure.
So he decorated it up as a sort of strange house.
Yes.
But stranger still, the living quarters were confined to the lower black section. The red residence on top was just for show, a facade to cleverly disguise its real purpose.
All that was up there was the tank with access up the horseshoes, and that's how they got into it.
Oh, those funny hoops up the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, that's how they got in. Health and safety nightmare.
Imagine. Yeah. Well, should we go and have a look around inside?
Yes.
I'm intrigued. I can't really imagine what it's like inside.
There you are, a house in the clouds.
Right.
It's going to be a long climb up its 68 steps, but thankfully there's a pit stop on the first floor. This majestic wood-panelled drawing room holds a certain faded grandeur, a touch of eras past.
It's very traditional and very cosy in here.
It is cosy, it's the ship's salon.
Is that the thought behind it?
Yes, it is, yes.
And you panelled this out. I mean, you sort of gave it this feel, this sort of ambience.
Yeah, my husband did the actual work, yeah.
I really like Queen Victoria looking very stern over there.
Exactly.
Keeping a very stern eye on proceedings.
Not amused. Actually, she looks really grim, doesn't
She does look really grim. But I quite like that. There's a sort of a nice, disjunction between her and some of these other images, quite exotic images.
The further up you go, it's like a chocolate box full of surprises. From the candy floss pink bedroom to the powder blue boudoir. With a beautiful oak four-poster bed and a triangular doorway, of course.
There's quite a few more flights of stairs to go up, I take it.
Yes, there are.
It's going to keep you fit, isn't it?
And it also makes you not forget things.
But the biggest treat is Sylvia's transformation of the top. The space that was once flooded with 50,000 gallons of water is now flooded with light.
What a contrast. Compared to those tiny little spaces downstairs and that tight staircase, you've got this enormous space.
Exactly.
And fantastic views. There's the sea. I had no idea it was quite so close.
Yeah, the sea,
lovely,
the
isn't
mere
it?
Aldeburgh, Suffolk rolling countryside,
You've got it all, haven't you?
Sizewell Power Station.
Full house, all the views. All the views in one. And I can look around, there's this fantastic quirkiness. Animal heads and oars and college pictures. I mean, it's a real feast for the eyes.
Sylvia's love affair with the house in the clouds has lasted 40 years. Although there was a time when she did consider parting company with this unique home.
When it came to signing papers, my children said, "Mum, you can't. There is nothing else like it in the world."
There was a revolt, a family revolt.
There was, yeah. And so therefore I had to say, sorry, I'm afraid I'm withdrawing it from the market.
It's a wonderfully eccentric house, From its very inception, from the moment that someone
Yes.
thought about it.
I mean, it's just to make people happy. You know, everybody who comes in smiles, and the house just loves
Makes
it.
you smile.
Yeah.
You know what? Makes me smile, and these views,
I know.
that's worth having a house in the sky, isn't it?
Later on my tour around the Suffolk coast, I visit a holiday hideaway that straddles the sandy shore and rural bliss.
You drop in behind the dune and then it just opens out like this.
Yes, it's magic, isn't it?
And set sail with a local who's built a new pad on his old stomping ground.
I was born in the house next door.
Over here?
Yeah, over there.
Come a long way, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, I've moved.
I'm in Suffolk on the hunt for some of the best homes East Anglia has to offer. So far, I've visited a magical house with its head in the clouds. But now I'm on my way to the much-fated coastal town of Southwold. With its pretty coloured homes, iconic lighthouse and famous beach huts, Southwold is a place that oozes quaintness, making it a magnet for tourists in search of quintessential English charm, as well as those looking for a very different pace of life. I'm heading down to the beach to meet Gillian and Ian Bailey, who, like many, have sought solitude in Southwold.
I've never actually been to Southwold. It's the name of a place I've heard a lot, but I've never been there.
You've never been to Southwold?
I've never been to
Charlie?
Southwold. What's so good about Southwold?
Everything. Except it does get a bit parky.
Yeah. I always
Yes.
think of the East Coast being a slightly sort of tamer kind of coast, but do you get fairly wild weather up
Yes,
here?
we get very wild weather. And sometimes we can't open the front door, and other days we can't open the back door. And you just have to knock because people go past. You know, it's sort of-
Let us out?
It's sort of
We're-
let us
we're
out,
stuck.
yes. Something like that, yeah. It gets under people's skin somehow.
And you just want to keep coming back?
People just keep coming.
And it's totally different. Big skies, big seas,
Yes.
big beaches.
Sometimes you're just about hanging on to the land with your feet and everything else is sky. You know, it's a wonderful feeling.
Should we go and look at this place?
Oh, yes,
The house
please.
is- the house is built.
Hidden behind the sand dunes is a row of 16 houses, like perfectly lined up soldiers, standing defiantly against the sea.
Which one is yours?
That one just over there.
This one here, with a little sort of hut on the front.
Yes.
Should we go inside?
Yes, let's
do
Charlie.
that.
Sitting right on the shoreline, it's aptly named the Perch. And with its pitched roofs and wood panelling, this petite property resembles an overgrown beach hut. With a pretty pan-tile roof that's like a crescendo of rolling waves. Sandwiched between the sea and the countryside, it's a home that offers the best of both worlds. In the sun-drenched interior, you're immediately drawn to the vistas that await round the back.
I like the kind of the framing of the view with this lovely sort of wall of glass. Because you drop in behind the dune and then it just opens out like this.
Yes, it's magic, isn't it? It's very special, yes. Friends come from London sometimes and they say, well, what do you do up here? And we say, we look out of the window, and they don't get it. And then they come up with their tablets and their books and their watercolour pads and they sit and look out of the window. And then they know what it's all about, you know.
The scenery outside is one thing, but there's plenty to soak up inside. This place is an oasis of calm, from the beautiful light-filled lounge to the understated contemporary matte grey kitchen. Upstairs, the continuous open-plan space and pearl-white shades throughout generate a feeling of Scandi serenity, even though we're just yards from the wild North Sea.
And what's so lovely up here is you get the view of the flat landscape, but that way you do see the sea, don't you? Sort of peeking over the dunes. But you are very close to the sea and almost seemingly at sea level. Does it flood?
It has flooded, and it probably will flood again. It's classed as a floodplain. It flooded seriously in 1953.
Just over 60 years ago, these shores were devastated by one of the biggest storms ever to hit the country. And many of the homes on this exposed road were all but washed away. One of the few left standing was the house that Gillian and retired architect Ian bought back in 2008.
Even though that big storm surge came in, the house, sort of plucky little house, remained standing.
A few of them did, actually.
But the house they fell in love with was too fragile to survive another storm. In its place, the couple built a home that reflects the character of the original, but with longevity at its core.
We have built a steel frame on the ground floor and then the timber frame all above that. All that sits on a reinforced concrete raft, which is on piles, which go down into the earth 14 metres.
14 metres.
I couldn't
1
believe it
fourth.
when the engineer
Yeah.
suggested that at the first.
That's why there's a very solid feel. 14.
Yes.
Is that to go
Yes.
through all the kind of the silt and the build-up and the loose sort of ground to get to something really solid?
Very much through the beach, but
Beach.
but then we have 7 or 8 metres of peat.
Sand, peat. I know, let's build a house. No,
Yes.
no.
We didn't think of it when we
No.
built the old house, Charlie, no.
So I don't think it's going to go anywhere soon.
No.
But I want to get to the turret of this mini castle, where the pitched roof and balcony pay homage to what stood before.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? To sort of carve out a little balcony up here.
Special, isn't it? It really is.
And you do get this kind of bird's eye perspective of the coastline. Is that partly why you called it the perch?
No, Charlie, I'm afraid not. We called it the perch because when we fall off our perch, this is where we'll be.
This is it. This is the forever
This
house.
is it.
This
Yes.
is it. This is it. It's a little bit macabre, but I think it's quite funny.
And just like this sturdy little house, I'm sure Gillian and Ian will be perched here for many years to come. And if you fancy a spot of Suffolk coastal bliss, then there are plenty of homes up for grabs. Hankering for something historic with a modern twist, then Glencairn House in Thorpe Nest could fit the bill. With its exposed black timbers, white render and leaded windows, this 5-bedroom corner home appears as Tudor as King Henry VIII. But don't be fooled. This dated facade is actually 20th century. However, at £545,000, you'll need a king's ransom to afford it. From mock Tudor, travel to the Victorian era with this 5-bedroom property a stone's throw from the beach at Walberswick. With its pretty white facade and blue wooden door, this period cottage is picture postcard perfect. As long as the hefty £800,000 asking price gets your stamp of approval. But if you're looking for something less period, then you may want to put this home of red brick and gleaming glass in Lowestoft at the top of your wish list. This super modern property will have you in a spin with its stylish spiral staircase, atrium and chic contemporary kitchen. But there's a nod to the past. A 28-foot deep restored well takes centre stage in this home. And with a price tag of £1 less than £1 million, at least you'll have a coin to drop in the water. I'm continuing my exploration of the Suffolk coast, heading 19 miles south to the shimmering seaside town of Aldeburgh. The beach here is a beautiful expanse of sea and shingle that seems to go on forever. And the pretty ice cream coloured Victorian homes hint at a glorious past. But this is a town that has a long history of moving with the times.
Now, this place used to have a bustling port and was a shipbuilding centre. In fact, right here is where Sir Francis Drake's famous boat, the Golden Hind, was built. But then the River Old silted up and the port business declined, and the town embraced a burgeoning new craze, tourism. Now, though, this place, which specialises in reinventing itself, has done it again. It's famous for the arts.
And And it's not just the beach that's littered with creative expression. The town centre proudly displays the work of many artists drawn to this inspiring landscape. But I'm going to an exhibition that isn't in a gallery. It's inside a rather beautiful home. This pastel blue 18th century townhouse, with its Dutch stepped gable and pristine bay windows. It's a vision of loveliness in itself.
So there's paintings everywhere.
Yep, absolutely. And on the stairs, in the bathrooms.
Art dealer Carolyn Wiseman's stylish home doubles up as a place to exhibit and sell a plethora of creative works.
Charlie, let me show you the drawing room. This is the piano nobile.
Ah, so it's sort of a living room up on the first floor.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is like an art gallery. Every surface is plastered.
Absolutely, I think so. For example, here we've got Regina Barsh, and Regina made those two paintings here on the beach. It was in a howling gale.
So you see those lovely lines.
You do,
It's a
absolutely.
sort of-
You see the lines, you see the sea.
But angry and kind of
Oh, absolutely.
energetic.
It was so freezing the day she did those, absolutely.
But it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because you would think it could be quite a boring view. I'm sorry to say, but I can imagine that actually it's like all about the minutiae. It's quite zen.
So zen's a very good word to use because the sound of the sea, because we're so close to the sea, we hear it lapping onto the stones. It's mesmerising.
As well as a showcase for other artists' work, Caroline's beautifully furnished home reflects her own visual flair. But this elegant townhouse came with a rather unusual companion that's built right on the beach. Towering 40 feet, this iconic lookout was a vantage point used to spot ships in trouble on this treacherous stretch of coast.
It's pretty tight, isn't it?
I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. That is a pretty extraordinary lookout. So you'd sit up here all day long
Yeah.
with your spyglass,
What the guy
watching for the boats.
Absolutely. And then they'd see the red flag would come up and then he'd call out to all his guys, come on, mates, get off your behinds.
Get in your boats.
And they were called beachmen, these
Beachmen.
chaps. And there were loads of them. I would say it was major industry here.
Having been stood down from lookout duties, Caroline now rents the tower out as a stimulating space for artists to muse and use.
It's very convenient, isn't it? I can imagine, like, for a creative space, this is the perfect view, isn't it?
Absolutely, isn't it?
Caroline and artist Amanda Houchin are using the Seaside Art Studio for their latest project, Pebble Homage, which encourages passers-by to use a pebble from the beach as their own personal canvas.
Everyone's had very different interpretations, like some are quite jokey and funny, and others are more profound, like songs.
Aldeburgh is perfect.
Yeah, and we've got some beautiful drawings like this octopus one.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a treasure, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I like the way it wraps around the back.
Yeah, it's very delicate.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's great. So what are you going to do with them all?
So then, in a couple of weeks' time, they're going to be scattered over the beach, and then people will be able to find messages.
It's my turn to write a few wise words.
I think it's about the memories you leave behind in other people.
Oh, that's very beautiful. It's like a bit of poetry.
Memories you leave behind.
Oh, that's
Very
lovely.
good.
But I'm not quite ready to leave Aldeburgh behind. So later I'll be squeezing into what's probably the smallest pad in town.
So this is the master bedroom.
What's the view?
The master bedroom.
Before I venture to the wilder side of Suffolk, where a neglected ruin inspires me to design my dream home.
Your sitting room would sit half under the water and half over the water.
I'm wandering along the Suffolk coast in the picturesque town of Aldeburgh, where pretty pastoral homes sit cheek by jowl with imposing lookout towers.
What I'm beginning to understand about Suffolk is that you need to expect the unexpected. And the next house I'm off to see is not in a location where you would think you'd find the perfect seaside home. It's in a car park.
Right Right on the Aldeburgh seafront sits this pint-sized property. Taking up a single parking bay, the smallest house in town is a big attraction. And there's no way I'm walking past without popping my head in.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you John and Jane?
We are. Yes.
You have a very small house.
Well, it is. It's tiny.
Well, can I come in?
Of course you can.
Right, well, I'll meet you downstairs.
I want to see what else this house has to offer, aside from excellent parking.
Hello. I was going to say it's like a TARDIS, but it's not. It's even smaller
on the inside, yeah.
But I can see it has got everything you need, like a little place to sit and eat,
Yeah.
telly, sofa,
Kitchen.
storage under the stairs, making use of every inch of space. So you like small spaces?
We're captivated by small spaces. My father was a cabinet maker, so I suppose I see all buildings as large furniture.
Yeah.
John and Jane live just up the road in Southwold, but keen to get even closer to the sea, architect John bought this converted former cobbler's shop 10 years ago and set about turning it into their beachside bolt hole. And at only 8 feet wide, I'm amazed at just how much they've managed to pack in.
You have a toilet?
Yes. We have a bathroom. Yeah.
You have a bathroom?
A bathroom.
But not with a bathtub?
Yes, with a bath
What?
and a spa and a shower.
Made to fit.
You have a... Come on then, let's go see the bathroom.
It's this way. Don't get lost.
Tight little stairs.
Yeah.
Okay, what have we got here?
This is the bathroom. Fully fitted.
There is a bath.
There is a bath.
And spa. And telly. So this is the master bedroom.
With the view.
The master bedroom. But that's a reasonable sized bed.
It's all right.
Yes, a 4'6".
And then the view.
And lie in bed,
Marvellous.
drink your morning tea, and the sun streams in there in
Does
the
it?
mornings.
People are very close, aren't they? They can really see in here because there's a path literally just there.
And they say to one another, "Oh look, there's someone in bed up there." Like you can't hear them.
Hello, I can hear.
Well, it's nice to entertain people. They're entertained by the building, which I like. They can be entertained by us as well. I don't mind.
Unbelievably, in the green gabled roof, there's guest accommodation. And John has devised an ingenious way to get up there.
And these steps, which you have to construct a little bit,
Oh, wow.
give you a handhold.
Oh, you've had fun with these, haven't you?
Yes.
And they're safe?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Sort of. You're filling
You'll be
me
all
with
right.
confidence.
You'll be all right.
Let's have a look. Oh, yes. You've got a view of the sea. That's amazing. It is like the smallest loft conversion in the world.
And has just enough room for a mattress. But the best view of all is from the couple's pocket-sized balcony.
It might be a little house, but that is a big view, isn't it? It's
Theatre of the ocean.
As seaside vistas go, this takes some beating. But on the Suffolk coast, sunny weather can be washed away in an instant. And here on the flat, expansive wetlands near Bordsey, brilliant blue skies quickly trade places with something wilder. The clash of land and the sea defines this area. But there are also signs of a different kind of conflict. Historically, Suffolk's location as the most eastern of counties left it exposed and in need of protection. The Martello Towers and World War II concrete lookouts are the brutal architecture of defence. And it's just the inspiration I'm looking for to design my perfect seaside home.
What I'm thinking is, I love the way that the concrete is kind of peeling away from the steel reinforcing from the rust. I love this little rusted metal roof on the top of it. And just as they core drilled, so cut circular holes through that cast concrete to create the stairs up through the middle of it, I'd like to do that on the outside. So you sort of get these new windows being formed that almost feel like scars, the holes left by cannon fire or something. It's quite dramatic.
My core drilled windows are just the start. The next thing I do is raise that wonderful weathered metal roof and create an expansive contemporary living area with glazing all around to drink in this stark wilderness.
And to sort of create enough living space to make this house really work, I would like to cut a trench from the side of the building out to the mere beyond.
And inside that trench, there'd be an open plan kitchen and living area, stretching out 10 metres to the water's edge. There'll be slender slot windows on one side to mirror its big brother building, also rounded off with a rusted metal roof. The resulting house would be a fabulous contrast between this battered but proud tower and the subterranean modern extension. But I've got one more design feature that will really make this an amazing place to live.
So the end of it would be a large glass wall that sits half under the water and half over the water. And so your sitting room would sort of be looking straight out at water level across that mere.
Not only will this glass wonder wall on the world offer an amazing view, it also embraces what this coast is all about, the fine line between land and water and their ongoing battle for supremacy.
I think it would be a pretty amazing, dramatic house, a sort of little summing up of what makes this coast so interesting. And I think that would be a nice place to spend your time.
From my modern take on an old building, the person I'm going to meet next has also put a contemporary spin on a traditional design. 33 miles up the coast, the quaint fishing village of Walberswick sits at the mouth of the River Blythe. It's a beautiful, unspoilt place, well known for the black timber fishermen's huts that pepper the shore. I'm on my way to see a modern version of one of these huts, but to get there, I have to cross the river.
Hello, Luke.
Hello.
You're the ferryman.
I sure am.
It's a very short ferry ride, isn't it?
It is.
How far is it?
I don't know. I think of it as being a 5-minute journey.
Luke Jeans is part of a team who helps captain one of Suffolk's last remaining foot ferries, and he's going to steer me in the direction of my next house, his.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
This is no cruise liner, but it takes some skill to stay on course.
So what's the technique?
The technique is close your eyes and row as fast as you can.
Row as you can.
Walberswick's over there and you're rowing that way.
Yeah. See how the current is?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's stronger in the middle and slower on the outside. So you go up the outside and then you cross over. But first of all, looking to make sure that there's nobody coming.
Looking. And off we go.
And then we'll get pushed down to the landing stage on the other side.
While the mighty River Blythe does her stuff, with a bit of help from Luke, I sit back and enjoy the ride.
Right, now you can get out.
There we go.
Lovely. Right, well, very nice journey that
Yeah.
was. Very nice journey.
The harbour might be dotted with the traditional humble huts, but Luke's home is raised to another level. Toe's cabin is a stunning contemporary timber-clad house on stilts. A remarkable modern twist on the classic black shacks. With its lofty location close to the water's edge, the views from the balcony are top-notch, peering out over the marshes and stretching across to the North Sea beyond.
What is it about Walberswick and a black building?
Historically, it's because everything down by the river were fishermen's huts, really.
Yeah.
And there was a gasworks in Southwold, therefore they could get tar really cheaply So they painted everything black.
So it's a preservative.
It's a preservative.
So in a way, this sort of use of black, this now very kind of defining colour, was sort of just a happenstance. It was a geographical accident.
I'm sure one day one of the fishermen was walking along thinking, what am I going to do to protect myself? Gasworks.
But for local man Luke, this is a family affair.
I was born in the house next door.
Over here?
Yeah, over there.
Come a long way, haven't you, mate?
Yeah, I've moved.
The tumble-down shack he inherited, made from corrugated iron and with only an outside loo, had to give way to something more permanent.
It was terribly important to me that it blended in. However, I wanted it to be contemporary.
I think it's very beautiful, actually. I think it's a lovely aesthetic, because you've got the kind of the legs, it sits up on stilts, you've got the black timber. But inside, is it very comfortable and modern?
No, it's dreadful inside, but it doesn't matter. Providing the outside looks good, who cares?
Well, should we go and look inside at this dreadful thing?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he's having me on. Later, I see for myself how this home's jet black facade hides an illuminating interior.
It's a lovely, bright space, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Suffolk coast is famous for its light, and I've got it in spades.
And I step inside a Victorian mansion that's eye-poppingly pink.
I think it's called raspberry.
Raspberry.
It's quite a strong colour, but
Isn't it?
I'm on England's pan-flat eastern seaboard, discovering fantastic coastal homes in Suffolk. I've hopped across the river to the estuarine village of Walberswick to explore Toe's Cabin, a stunning contemporary timber-clad home.
So the stairs are outside?
The stairs are outside, yeah.
Owner Luke Jeans has created an exterior that blends perfectly with the local vernacular, and I can't wait to see what he's done inside.
It's a lovely, bright space, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But, you know, Suffolk coast is famous for its light. So you wouldn't want to block it off, would you? You'd want as much of it as you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And I've got it in spades.
But what I can see is that you've really embraced open plan living. I mean, is that your bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is your sitting room?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very open plan, isn't it?
Yeah, I've always wanted to live in somewhere open plan. And
You've done that, by the way.
I have now, yeah.
Yeah, it's official. You've achieved that.
Thank God for that, because I can stop thinking about it.
The layout of Luke's home may be contemporary, but he's no slave to minimalism. From the retro table and chairs reclaimed from a 1950s American diner, to the vintage studio light. His home is an eclectic mix of unusual, carefully chosen items, each one with a story to tell. But this modern layout has forced Luke to become a more selective collector.
My attitude has always been to make a house interesting. I go to a junk shop and find lovely stuff and secrete it all around the house. I can't do that here. And stuff creeps in. The next stage is to stop myself going into junk shops.
Yeah. But slowly, little steps.
I can't do the withdrawal symptoms.
Luke's home is a treasure trove of salvaged booty. But in his bedroom, these artefacts have to earn their keep in a role that's beyond decorative. Like this pair of metal milk churns holding up the desk, or these old ladders that have taken a sideways step up.
I love all this wood that you've used. There's a very nice contrast between the kind of whites and the creams and then a real texture in the wood.
The panelling here, every single bit of this timber came off the beach.
That's a plank of elm in the middle,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it
With
is.
the spalting in it, with the black.
Yeah.
The spirit of the scavenger is still there.
Oh, yeah, very, very definitely. We also made my bed out of it, and somebody's carved a heart and initials in it.
IL4YD.
Yeah.
Kiss.
And to me, that just makes this building for me, because there's so much old stuff in here, which I love.
Exposed wood is a recurring theme that unites this house, acting as a constant reminder that the simple local architecture it mirrors is embedded in the very fabric of the building.
I think what I really love about this place is that while this house is clearly very, very modern, it sort of really talks to the kind of specific traditions of this little part of Suffolk. And so it's really grown out of the local area in a way that I think is quite unique and really special.
You know, my grandfather built a house over the road, and so now in this teeny-weeny little village, we've built 2 houses here, both of which I think we can be proud of. And I kind of feel that's quite nice.
Luke's fabulous glass-fronted home replaced a simple ramshackled hut. But the final house on my journey is one whose lineage is much grander. As far as coastal bolt holes go, this sprawling Grade 2 listed property in Felixstowe is off the scale. With over 30 rooms, countless windows and crowned with 10 magnificent chimneys, it's a place that exudes Victorian splendour. Once a single residence, this palatial pad has been converted into 5 glorious homes, and retired accountant Susan Marsh is the proud owner of one of them.
This is less of a home by the sea and more of a mansion by the sea, isn't it? That's incredibly unusual to see a house of that scale and grandeur that close to the sea.
Yes, I know. It was amazing when I first saw it. I just loved it. And I'm pleased that I only have the end part because I can never cope with any more.
So this is just you here, this end bit?
Yes, that is, yes.
But it's a very grand building, isn't it? With this amazing kind of plaster work and these fish scale tiles on these roofs and then these incredible chimneys. I've never seen anything like it before.
I love the roof, actually. I'm really pleased I've got a section of it. I just love it here. I love the sea air. And when it's a beautiful day, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Even on a day like today, it's amazing.
Oh, well, yes, you still get lovely fresh air.
Susan's home is in a fantastic spot. But on a bracing day like this, I can imagine that living just yards from the wild North Sea has brought its fair share of problems.
The sea was beginning to hit the windows here in a storm and even make the house vibrate.
Right.
So,
a little bit concerning.
Yes, the pictures used to fall off the wall.
But now you've got this big kind of row of granite and...
Oh, it's worked so well now.
A defiant wall of boulders now hugs this coastline and defends this precious home from the most fearsome of seas.
That's a very impressive door and a very impressive hallway.
Yes.
Look at that. That's fantastic. It's a very strong colour, isn't it?
Yes.
This sort of, what would you call this?
Well, I think it's called raspberry.
Raspberry.
It's quite a strong colour.
Isn't it? It is.
But originally it was cream and the hall just looked too big for me. We wanted to warm it up, make it more cosy, make it feel more like a house. So we painted it raspberry.
Susan's other additions of cool white marble floors and cut glass chandeliers complement the imposing original oak features, ensuring this entrance hall offers a firm handshake of a welcome.
I can see from here you've got the half panelling and the door surrounds are beautiful. I mean, they're all oak, aren't they? And look at this. Now that is what I call a library. That's a very, very impressive room. This ceiling is fantastic.
Yeah, I love the ceiling actually.
It's quite Elizabethan with these sort of plaster bosses and that thick moulding.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It's beautiful.
And that chimney, that fireplace, sorry, that's an enormous mantelpiece.
Carved from a single piece of oak, it's a perfect frame for the beautiful Dutch tiled fireplace below. In the 1920s, this magnificent house was converted into a prestigious girls' boarding school.
So this would have had lots of girls running around studying.
Yes.
And what was this room, do you know?
This was definitely the library because we have a photograph over there.
So
Just as it was.
So it was built as a library, then went to become a girls' school library, and now you use it as a sort of library cum games room.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Oh, it's lovely. It's an amazing room. It's an amazing room, and great that you're still enjoying it.
In the stately kitchen, modern additions such as glistening chandeliers and black gloss granite surfaces enhance the opulent feel. Echoes of the past come from the parquet floor and original fireplace, flanked by 2 classical oak columns.
So was this staircase added when the big house was split up?
Yes, it was. It's not the original.
But it's still pretty grand. It sort of fits the scale of the spaces, doesn't it?
Yes, it does blend well.
There's the sea. I almost forgot the sea was here because there's so much to see in the house, you know. But this is the star of the show, isn't it? The view.
Yes, it was the sea that really sold it to me in the first place.
And even on a brisk and blustery day like today, I can see why. The sea that once posed a threat to this home is now its pièce de résistance. And it's a perfect note on which to end my first visit to this endearing part of the East Coast.
Now, the Suffolk coastline might be short, but it has an incredible depth of history and a real variety, both in terms of landscape and architecture. The one thing that defines it, though, is perhaps this tension between land and sea, a battle as old as these islands that defines many of the county's best coastal properties. Now, I had never been here before, but my overriding impression is that it's a bit like a comfortable old pair of slippers. It's unpretentious, lived in, and very, very loved by everyone who knows it.
Next time, I'm on Merseyside, where modernist masterpieces exude Hollywood glamour. Hilltop hideaways reveal magnificent makeovers, and self-built mansions turn family plots into property gold.
Because on a day like today, that's got to be a world-class view, hasn't it? Absolutely stunning.